Hello and welcome again to another episode of One Starfish, where our mission is to help change the world one person or one starfish at a time. As always, make sure to rate, review, subscribe, share. It's how we get the word out about what we do. And as always, I'm always excited to meet my guests because me and them haven't really met a lot of times before. And so it's like a conversation right on screen. So today I just met Christy, and Christy runs a biz and brand strategy for women who want clarity, confidence, and clients, which is pretty cool, called Cohesive Confidence. I'm like, this sounds awesome. And so welcome to the show, Christy.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
Yes, I'm excited too. So we touched a little bit on everything, but we're going to go way back. So, if we go from childhood to where you went into life from there, tell us a little bit about what you feel shaped where you even started out as a quote adult.
Oh gosh. As an adult, so I was very involved in several different activities from Girl Scouts to marching band to church to dance. Always had an activity going on, always went to camps during the summer. My parents were very supportive in my sister and I being able to explore things that really lit us up. Um, I'm super thankful. My mom also was a great example of being multi-talented and multifaceted in the way that she not only served and executed her day job, which was in oil and gas, but also with her direct sales business. I feel like we embodied as a family,
Mm.
we were the result of her brand. We were an extension of her brand, being this skincare, loving to help make things colorful and beautiful and bring more confidence to people all the way around. But also the way she was my Girl Scout leader, she served in the church ministry, she was a band booster parent, so very present. And that was the example that I had in the way that I made decisions about my life going forward. And I love that. She was in a male dominated field in oil and gas, and it was her first job out of high school. She was not a college graduate, but she was very successful in the way that she cultivated relationships. And, that relationship with her was very special. She and I had a very unique start to my life. She was a single mom. And so, we went through a lot together. And I grew up, I think, with her in a lot of different ways, which a year ago, I got to help her navigate her end of life through a cancer diagnosis and, saw her move to her next place back in July. So a lot of things have shaped me into the direction that I was able to take into my business, which started just a little over a year ago.
Wow. So your mom was a huge part. And then as you guys grow up, did she remarry?
She did. So she remarried in 1984. I was just shy of turning 9. I was like, not 5. I was 5 when they started dating. They dated for 4 years. And then when I turned 18, I went and had my last name changed. So it was a legal adult adoption, but he really has been our dad. My
He's your
sister
dad.
and I, for all intents and purposes, he's our dad.
Yeah, there's sperm donors and then there's actual fathers. So, um,
Nail on the head right there. Nail on the
yeah.
head.
And good that there's sperm donors because otherwise you wouldn't be here. So congrats to
Yes.
all of the sperm
Yes.
donors
All the
out there.
blessings. Yes. Thank
Yeah.
you, universe, for seeing me through.
Exactly. And that's so cool that she, it just makes me happy for her that she had someone come into her life as a second go that was actually a good person, to help raise you and said your sister. And yeah, that's pretty cool. And so you grew up around direct sales, which is interesting because that has a negative context for a lot of people. And yet that was partially what shaped you. And so,
Yeah.
And you got into direct sales later in life at some point too, did you not?
As soon as
Okay.
I was able to, because my mom was building an active business and there was opportunity for her. She was she was a car earner with a skincare company, and not the pink one. It was a different one. Um, there's a lot of, oh, I know which one that is. No, it was a competitor to that, but I came into that. I saw her succeed at these things, and the way that she was able, and honestly, it was my first experience with color analysis, which I know we're going to get into in a little bit as well. But seeing that happen, and then as companies evolve and change, and that one ended up going away, she found herself into another direct sales company. I had found a health and wellness company to align with direct sales. And the funny thing is, in 2022, I closed the door on one, wasn't really looking for another. And I had a friend come and approach me and said, "Hey, I'm starting this company with some friends. We're doing all of these things with absolute transparency. Will you take a look and give me your feedback on it?" It wasn't necessarily an invitation to participate, but I felt
Kinda.
really valuable on having input and giving feedback to something from the ground floor. And it was so exciting. And I had helped open retail stores as an employee when I was in college. There was something really amazing about being able to start something and be a part of it from the get-go.
I'm sure. And that's so cool. So, and so you went into, did you go to college then?
I
So,
did.
you obviously grew up and saw this amazing mother that was setting an example. And for any mothers listening to this, your kids are watching you. And I don't have kids, and part of it is, man, they're watching you. But I have nieces that watch me, and I know that. And so what example are you setting? And it's so cool that your mom set such a strong example when, a lot of people quit when things are tough, and then they wonder why their kids quit when things are tough, and we create a culture of quitters. And
Right.
so don't be that. So there's one takeaway already from this show. And so you went to college. What did you go to college for?
Music education.
Interesting. Okay. And did you do anything with it outside of college when you graduated?
No, no. So funny you talked about quitting, because it's
Yeah.
exactly what I did. Um, but it wasn't because it was hard. It was because the curriculum that I was part of wasn't filling my cup. The reason I wanted to go into music education was, one, I had two amazing mentors in my high school experience from a music standpoint who taught me to love music, to really connect with it on an emotional level. It wasn't so I could be the best at my instrument. That was not the driver for me. It was not the reward, but it was the result of connecting to the music that really lit me up. And as I was studying and working toward that degree, the intention and the drive to get the result had been removed from the emotion, or the emotion had been removed from that experience. And so it no longer really, it wasn't what I wanted. I didn't want to turn this into a business. I wanted to turn that into an experience. And I think I'm connecting so many dots for myself talking this through right now. But how all of that has translated into where I am today. And, you talk about children watching their parents and finding some of the best ways to serve out their purpose and become their own individual people. And that's a lot of, stepping outside the expectations of others. And I don't have children either. However, I do have a niece and nephew, but I also have been around and I babysat, I've influenced so many children. And my hope is that the women that I get to work with take their experience, because it is power and purpose driven, to lean in and give yourself permission to be the person you were created to be. And if we can start doing that with our children and having those conversations today of, it's not measured by what college you get into, what your grades are in high school, how fast you get married, if you get married, if you have kids, what house do you buy? all of these things that society puts expectations around on the timeline of life and what that should look like. But what if our purpose isn't in alignment with that timeline or with that expectation? When do we finally realize and have the awareness that we get to set our own?
It's good. I like that. So then fast forward, you went into mortgages. That was not that long ago. What got you into that? And then tell us a little bit about what we were talking about before, kind of where that went and then why you transitioned out of that.
Yeah. So I hilariously enough was applying for jobs, and this is back in 2004, 2005, um, in Austin, Texas. And I was really applying to any office job that I could. I had been a vendor. I had never worked in an office. So I was an in-store vendor doing inventory management. And I got interviewed by a mortgage company in 2005, ended up working there in the HR and then the marketing and sales department. Saw the crash happen in '09, swore I'll never go back into that. I saw some of the worst behavior from people and I didn't want to be aligned or connected to any of that. And so I went into project management after a lengthy unemployment period, which a lot of people in the US were unemployed at that time. And one of the ladies I worked with at that mortgage company back in the end of 2016, beginning of 2017, came to me and said, "Hey, I'm looking for an assistant. Would you be interested in getting your mortgage license?" And I was kind of at the end of a contract and needed something to fall into. I thought it was a great opportunity to start setting my own schedule and controlling my own income, but being part of a bigger team. It just sounded like a place that I could call home and feel really great about. And so there I went, stepping back into this mortgage business. And I don't regret it. I spent 6 years in mortgage, worked for a few different companies. Actually ended up not working for that lady for more than 6 months. And, but I could either finish and get my license and go work for myself, or I could go back into contract work. And I wanted something with more stability. um, I don't know why I had this misnomer that the mortgage industry was stable, but we also couldn't predict a worldwide pandemic and subsequent rebuild after that. So the mortgage industry life cycle is definitely a roller coaster. But during that time, I had started to recognize that working for larger companies and embodying their core values, their mission statement, their brand colors, dress in your colors, go out and represent this company, make this company money. But the crux of all of that is that I was responsible, 100% responsible for every penny of my income. I was not fed leads. I had to go out and create my own business. The companies set the minimum production, telling me how many I had to close per month, how much money I had to make or bring in, how big my pipeline had to be every year, all of these metrics based on the company's goals. But nothing about it was personal other than me going out and doing the work. And it didn't feel in alignment. It was a constant battle. And I navigated my way from retail lending into wholesale lending, which is a whole different world. Tested out my independence and loved it. Um, as I was navigating all of that, I had also started 3 other service-driven jobs and copywriting. I helped launch a skincare brand. I also had been enrolled to get my business strategy certification. So I had 4 different businesses. None of them were connected. And I wanted to honor all of them because I was multifaceted. I was having fun and I was really great at everything I committed to do. So that became what is now Cohesive Confidence. through a very fun and exciting, this day will live in my mind as the turning point, when I was in a networking meeting and the prompt of introduction was, tell us your name and tell us what you do. Don't tell us your company. Don't tell me your job title. But what is the result that your clients get when they work with you? And it was a great challenge, and I loved thinking it through. And by the time it came around for me to say, I knew that my name was Christy Meaux, and I create cohesive confidence.
Cool. That's awesome. And then, and then in through that, you had some tragedies. Your mom, who I would imagine would be close to one of your best friends, um, you said cancer, so got diagnosed and you went through that and passed away, which would have been very hard, I can imagine. Very close to my mom, so can't imagine.
Yeah.
And how did you deal with that while you were building all these companies and all these brands? Like, did it take you out of the game? And if not, how did you stay in the game on the days you obviously didn't feel like it?
I was still doing some origination from a mortgage perspective. What changed and really was a large part of that as well was I had relocated from the town I was living in 4 hours away to being it 45 minutes away from my mom so that I could be there and get to her if she needed anything. My dad, bless him, love him. He is not an empath. He's not an emotional individual. He simply doesn't carry the capacity to be emotional with people. He is an engineer. He is direct, and everything must fit in a square box. So anytime there's some frayed edges coming up, it's very conflicting. And my mom needed somebody here to advocate for her from an emotional point of view. So thank goodness I was in a lifestyle and a career that allowed me to navigate things from anywhere. Um, Also created more challenges to not being present and face forward with my business the way that I had been, and trying to start new in a different environment where I didn't know the market was also challenging. Um, Ultimately, she passes away. I don't regret coming up here and spending time with her. It's a gift I will always cherish. But I also got very clear on what was important and what wasn't. And through that clarity cleanse, I think, is what I like to lean into. I knew that my purpose was to help and love others the way that I was able to do with her, but also honor people for who they are and allow them to find a way to really get into that authentic identity. I She passed away in July of 24. In August of 24, I um, didn't even blink when I went and filed my LLC and said, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm doing this. And I had my business strategy certification. I was getting a certification in color analysis and knew that that was going to be the next element to add in. But ultimately, I ended up resigning from mortgage in November, and my beta program had launched September 1st. So August, September, November, and I was up and rolling and had another very significant life change in January when my relationship of 8 years abruptly ended without any warning. I mean, we went to dinner Saturday night, and Sunday morning, I got the information that he was moving to another state, and I was not going with him. So I moved in with my dad.
I'm sure it's really nice for your dad. Um, yes, some days. Okay.
Some days, yeah.
If you guys are watching, you'll see the emotion. Some days. Some days it's really great. Yeah, so you always have the freedom, I guess, of moving wherever you want. So that's as far as you go, but it's good to sometimes be there for your family because we have limited time.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I've been able to go through and spend time with my mom's things. I understand her so much more from a different perspective. And I regretfully wish that I had been able to experience her in this capacity while she was here. But thankful that I get to do this now.
Yes, and it's just living and learning, and now you're doing it with your dad, so you won't have those same feelings.
Right.
So you started your business. Tell us a little bit about color analysis and what exactly is that?
Yeah. So there's four seasons, just like the seasons we all know, summer, winter, spring, and autumn. These seasons have, and you'll see it when you go shopping. There are certain colors and color palettes when we walk into the stores that represents each season
Hmm.
appropriately. So when I look at photos of clients and everything that I do is virtual, I have them submit a document, an intake form. We review that with photos. And then I take the photos and assign them to a palette that I have on my computer and designate and recognize what colors allow the clients to look their best. And it's not a right or wrong color. You
Hmm.
can wear any color that you want to, but it's about colors that allow you to look your best. I'm wearing hot pink today. It is my brand color. I love the pink, but it also allows me to show up bright, engaged. I have no makeup on today. So everything like my cheeks are rosy, my lips are rosy, everything makes me look alive and engaged. It's about client attraction. It's about the emotion that colors communicate. There are certain colors that communicate happiness. There are certain colors that communicate calm and serenity, certain colors that represent money or being connected with nature. It really matters when you're looking at branding and carrying colors to conversations and into rooms where you want to connect with potential clients. How do you use color to your advantage, but also be able to look your best at the same time, and thus creating the harmony with that authentic identity and the authentic visibility from color analysis to personal branding and business strategy?
Are there colors that have meaning?
Every color has a
Like
meaning.
like pink, for instance. Does that tell if someone really likes a certain color, can you tell their personality basically by what they tell you they like for a color? Did I
I
find it?
think, and this is my perspective, there is science that shows that there is a visceral reaction to color. We engage with color more often, a lot quicker than we do with the person. So if I'm wearing, say, I'm walking into a room, or think about someone's walking into a room wearing hot pink or wearing red, that's going to communicate power, confidence, friendliness. Pink is definitely a friendly, come talk to me. I want to hang out. I want to have fun. Red is definitely driven by, you hear the power tie. The power tie is typically a red tie. There is, green, which communicates being rooted or centered. It's a financial advisor, if they're going to wear a green tie or a green dress, they're money centered. It's subconsciously communicating the emotion there. It's not so much about the person, but the color is a reflection of the person wearing it.
What about
So,
blue?
yes, blue is secure.
It's my favorite color.
Is it really?
Yes.
Okay. So do you like royal blue? Do you like a powder blue? Do you like
Darker
an
blue.
sheer blue?
Normally darker blue, like a royal blue.
A royal blue. Okay. So that definitely look at financial institutions. You're looking at banks, financial advisors, a lot of
I'm in the financial industry. Interesting.
Okay, so is the brand color for your company blue?
Yes. Well, not the company technically, like the company I'm under, but our team is all blue. When we have events, we have blue shirts.
There are a lot of financial companies that have blue in their logos and their brand palette because it's creating confidence and security.
Hmm. And I would not have thought confidence and security as being two of my traits per se. So it's interesting. Yeah.
But you can carry that into this is what I want my brand to communicate to the clients I want to work
I
with.
get that, but I haven't thought about it. So I just like the color blue. So I can see how
Yeah.
you can utilize colors to do that. That makes sense, but I haven't been that smart on that. I just like blue. So we're
It's
just wearing
so
blue.
cool when you get to see colors from a different perspective and give credit to the work that they do without us having to do a thing about it. Like it's doing the work for you.
That's really cool. That's awesome. So you help women with brand awareness and stuff. What do you see as one of the biggest, I don't know about problems, downfalls, struggles that a lot of women, because that's who you specialize in, are facing in these in confidence and stuff that maybe, I mean, obviously if anyone, guys, by the way, all the information will be in the show notes. She has a consultation link on her website. If you have any questions, reach out for sure. But what's something you would suggest to someone if they came in here and they were like looking for this, that's like a number one tip that maybe a lot of people don't do that they should focus on?
I'm going to go back to expectations. The number one thing that I recognize with the women I get to work with is the word should. I should do this. I should do that. I should be present in this space. I have to do this. I need to do this. But where in that are you? I encourage every single person, man, woman, child, to sit back before you take action on something. How is this serving me? How do I feel about this? What is my body's reaction to what I'm about to do? Or whenever I say it, how do I feel? And that a lot of times will be the driver and let you know, yes, I am making this decision. I am moving forward. I am doing this because I know, I am confident that this is the direction I need to go. But it's stepping outside of and considering, does the expectation of society, does the expectation of this person match what I truly desire? And being able to give yourself permission to pursue your purpose without apology. You can still be considerate and kind.
Right.
You can still serve others. I'm not telling you to tell people to go kick rocks.
Right.
At all. But you get to honor yourself while being a part of a bigger picture. Just like realtors and mortgage professionals, they are responsible, again, for all of their income. They're not fed leads unless you work for a bank, and that looks a little bit different. But independent mortgage and real estate agents work for a larger brokerage or company. Creating a personal brand that you carry forward and allow to work for you instead of competing with a company brand and thousands of other individuals that are also part of that brand. How do you stand out as one person? How are you cultivating your business, your paycheck, your livelihood, your vision of what you want your life to look like? If you're embodying somebody else's core values and brand colors when they're not in harmony with who you are. And that's the authentic identity work that we get to do. And then I bring in the color analysis piece and start putting that visual aspect together. And it's cohesive.
I love that. I feel your energy shift. It's so cool. If anyone's watching, you'll see. You saw how she started to smile. This is how we bring this together.
Thank you.
We're super passionate about this, and I love it because that is where success comes from. Is the passion for what you're doing, which you have found for yourself. And so, yeah, like I said, if anyone's watching this on YouTube, you'll see how she just like her countenance all changed. I was like, oh, there it is. Because she's all excited to help these people like step into that, which is you guys, if you're listening to this and you're a woman that's like, I want some confidence. That's awesome. So in wrapping up, I always have 3 final questions and then anything we didn't touch on that you think would be really impactful for our listeners. So first and final question is, if someone is looking for their purpose, what's one sentence you could say that could help them find it?
What makes me happy?
And
cool. Truly identify what that happiness is and question it of, is this making me happy because it should make me happy? because it's expected to make me happy?
Right. Look
Is
at
that
that.
what somebody told me I should feel? Or is this truly in alignment with where my heart is?
Cool. Second question. What's a favorite quote and why?
Ooh, okay. I use this in my color and confidence presentation that I do with different groups. The perfect color is the one that looks best on you,
Hmm.
and that's Coco Chanel.
I'm like, that's this old quote. I like. Um, and third question, what's one word or sentence you want on your gravestone?
Oh, a sentence on the gravestone. Um, gosh, I have a hard time thinking about myself from that perspective, but I would like for it to say confident and kind.
Hmm. It's a good one. All right, you're running into someone in a coffee shop. They've listened to this. They're learning about their colors, being confident, stepping into purses, all the things we talked about. What's something we didn't touch on that you think would be really impactful to leave our listeners with?
I believe that everyone has a soul's purpose. And I know I did touch on that a bit. But if I can tell anyone the secret sauce to really learning to discover what that is write down and journal every day. Spend time journaling through pen to paper, because when it's written down, it becomes real. And write down what it is you want to see happen in the next 6 months, 3 months, 12 months, 5 years. Because if you don't have a vision for what you desire and what you want to see happen, and you're allowed to be audacious, you don't have to play small. But once you have that vision of where you want to go and what you want to cultivate and desire, then you can start creating a plan, and then you start creating a strategy. You can have a plan. Plan is great, but a plan without a strategy is nothing. So create the vision, make a plan, and create a strategy. But journal every day. And when you do that, all of those things start to come forward. And it's the best feeling in the world.
Awesome. I love it. Guys, like I said, if you have any questions on this stuff, definitely reach out to Christy. We'll have all of the links in the show notes. So definitely reach out. She's super approachable. As you can tell, she's wearing pink, so she's approachable. I love it. So reach out to her for sure. Let's go out there. Let's go change one life. If we can change one life or one starfish at a time, together, we can help change the world. Thanks for being on, Christy.
Thank you so much. I look forward to all the color coming forward for you.